Have you ever felt a pull toward the moon? Have you ever sensed a hidden energy in a quiet forest? Have you felt the ancient power of the rolling ocean? These are the whispers of an old and sacred path. This is the world of witchcraft, often shrouded in mystery, cloaked in misunderstanding, painted with fear. For centuries its truths were hidden, passed in secret from one generation to the next. Not pointed hats, not deals in the dark. Instead, something more natural, more personal, tied to earth and stars. A journey inward, the witch's path of discovery. Think of the power in a single herb, the energy in a smooth stone, the cleansing of a spring rain. It honors the divine in many forms, God and Goddess. A universal life force, the spirit inherent in nature. The journey is unique, a personal exploration of self, nature, and unseen energies. Weave intention with natural forces to create change. A simple protection spell, a profound ritual for deep healing. Tools, herbs, crystals, candles. Tools are focus points, not magic themselves. True magic comes from within, the heart and mind of the practitioner. Quiet the noise of the modern world. Push aside frightening fairy tale and Hollywood images. Open your mind to another possibility, magic as a natural part of life. A bubbling pot on the stove, quiet contemplation on a moonlit night. The true world of witchcraft. Empowerment, connection, reverence. Waiting for anyone with an open heart and a curious spirit to discover its secrets. At its core, witchcraft is the practice of working with natural energies to create change in accordance with will. This is a simple definition, yet it holds a universe of meaning. It is not about commanding supernatural forces. Instead, it is a practice of alignment. It is about understanding the natural cycles of earth, moon, seasons. It is about recognizing the divine energy that exists within ourselves and in everything around us. A witch learns to harmonize, to gently guide, and to weave them together with personal intention. It is a craft, an art, and a science of the unseen world. Witchcraft is a deeply personal and spiritual path. For many, it is their religion. For others, it is a spiritual practice that complements another faith or stands on its own. There is no central holy book or single leader who dictates its laws. The craft is decentralized, empowering the individual to find their own connection to the divine. This divinity is often seen as being both masculine and feminine. The goddess, earth, moon, sea, the receptive, nurturing force. The god, sun, forests, animals, the active, protective force. Together they create and sustain all life. The practice of witchcraft is often called the craft because it requires skill, knowledge, and dedication. A witch learns about the properties of herbs and plants, crystals and stones, the phases of the moon, the symbolic meanings of colors and elements. This knowledge is then applied through ritual and spell work. A spell is simply a focused prayer or a symbolic act designed to manifest a specific intention. It is a way of concentrating your energy and sending it out into the universe to bring about a desired outcome, whether it be for healing, protection, prosperity, or love. Ultimately, witchcraft is a path of empowerment and responsibility. The most important law in many witchcraft traditions is, "And it harm none, do what you will." The world of witchcraft is not a single monolithic path, but a rich and varied landscape of traditions and practices. A green witch's practice is deeply rooted in the earth. Wild woods, the quiet garden, the untamed field. They are herbalists, gardeners, wildcrafters. Then there is the kitchen witch, whose magic is centered in the heart of the home. The kitchen, cooking, baking. They infuse their meals with intention, stirring love into a soup for a sick friend. Many practitioners follow the path of the solitary witch. This is not a path of loneliness, but one of profound self-reliance and personal discovery. The sea witch draws their power from the ocean, tides, the weather. A cosmic witch or star witch looks to the heavens, aligning their practice with the movements of the planets. There are also hereditary witches who are born into families where the craft has been passed down through generations. The roots of witchcraft sink deep into the soil of human history, long before the word itself was ever spoken. Its origins aren't in one place or time. They're woven from ancient spiritual practices around the world. Think of the wise women, cunning men of tribal societies. These were the first witches, healers, diviners, midwives, keepers of sacred knowledge. They knew the secrets of plants, the movements of the stars, and the rhythms of the earth. Respected members of their communities, mediators between the physical world and the world of spirits. The sun as a god, the moon as a goddess, mountains with spirits, rivers with spirits, forests with spirits. As Christianity spread across Europe, it tried to replace pagan faiths. The Church recast old gods as demons, followers as devil worshippers. This campaign of fear led to the Burning Times. 15th to 18th centuries, hundreds of thousands accused and executed, mostly women. It was a war on dissent, on female power, on pagan remnants. Modern witchcraft, especially Wicca, revives pre-Christian traditions. It emerged publicly mid-20th century, driven by figures like Gerald Gardner in England. His work sparked a movement. The craft blossomed into a diverse global spirituality. Modern witches don't copy the past. They draw inspiration from old ways to build living spirituality today, honoring the earth, seeking the divine within. The idea of dark magic is one of the most persistent and misunderstood aspects of witchcraft. For most modern witches, magic itself is neutral. It is like electricity or fire. It is a natural force that is neither good nor evil. The morality of magic lies entirely in the intention of the person who wields it. The same energy that can be used to heal can also be used to harm. Therefore, what people often call dark magic is simply magic performed with a malicious or harmful intent. It is the act of trying to control, manipulate, or cause suffering to another person against their will. This is something that the vast majority of witches actively avoid, guided by ethical principles like the Wiccan Ready. The concept of a dark side is often fueled by historical propaganda and popular culture. In reality, the craft is a nature-revering path focused on healing, growth, and balance. A spell to bind a person from causing harm, for example, might be seen as dark by an outsider, but to the witch performing it, it is an act of protection. When people speak of the dark side, they might also be referring to practices that involve confronting the more challenging aspects of life and the self. This is sometimes called shadow work. The shadow self is a psychological concept representing the parts of ourselves that we repress or deny, our fears, our traumas, our anger. Shadow work is the difficult but necessary process of bringing these hidden parts into the light, not to indulge them, but to understand, heal, and integrate them. It is dark only in the sense that it involves exploring the unknown and often painful depths of one's own psyche for the ultimate goal of wholeness. Real-world examples of what might be misconstrued as dark magic often involve curses. A curse is a spell intended to cause harm. However, according to beliefs like the Rule of Three, such an act is incredibly foolish. Any negative energy sent out will inevitably return to the sender, magnified. The path of witchcraft is a journey into wonder. It is a path that calls to the soul that seeks a deeper connection with the world. The craft teaches us to see the sacred in the mundane, to find power in our own hands and hearts, from the green witch tending her garden to the solitary witch charting the stars. Each practitioner adds a unique thread to a tapestry that has been woven for millennia. The craft is not a relic of the past. It is a living, breathing spirituality that continues to evolve and adapt to the needs of the present. We have walked through the mists of misunderstanding to see what witchcraft truly is, a nature-based spiritual practice of personal empowerment. We have explored the many different paths one can take, from the hearth magic of the kitchen witch to the solitary explorations of the individual practitioner. We have seen how a core set of beliefs, reverence for nature, the reality of magic, and the balance of the divine, unites this diverse community. We have also traced the echoes of the old ways, from the animistic beliefs of our ancient ancestors to the tragic persecutions of the Burning Times. We have stepped into the shadows to understand that the dark side is less about evil and more about harmful intent and the difficult, necessary work of confronting our own inner darkness. The allure of the craft is timeless. In a world that often feels disconnected and artificial, witchcraft offers a return to something real, tangible, and sacred. The wheel of the year continues to turn, the moon continues to wax and wane, and the ancient whispers of magic continue to call to those with an open heart. The journey is there for the taking, a beautiful and complex dance with the energies of the universe.